Hello. Ho, ho, ho. Hello. Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Political Vigilante. Thanks for joining the show. We're going to have Lee Camp on, and we're going to start a Government Secrets episode. So if you... let's bring Lee on the show. Wow, wow. There's Lee's empty microphone. While Lee gets set up, folks, just we're going to do another Government Secrets, which is this podcast Lee and I have started to do. You can get it on Spotify and all those places. We will... So that'll be like a separate segment in the middle of this, but we're also going to release it. It'll be episode 2 of Government Secrets Podcast, and I'll put out the clips and all that stuff. So
let's see. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Awesome.
Let me try this. I have this. All right. All right, so I'm trying this Zencaster that's going to record both of us. It's a website software thing. Hopefully that will, obviously as a backup, we can merge our two things if we have to, but Zencaster should do it on its website.
Zencaster is what I've been trying to achieve for years.
Sort of Buddhist technology. All right. So welcome, everybody. Welcome, Lee Camp. I'll just talk to my audience real quickly, and then you can do the intro.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Welcome, Graham's audience.
Thank you, Big Texan. Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. Support Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. You can do what Big Texan did. Go to the super chat icon, hit the $sign. Oh, I'm in the small corner again. Oh, God. Oh, robots. Always fighting with me. Goddamn robots. But yeah, folks, we just started this. This is Government Secrets number 2. So listen to the first one. We're dropping it as an audio podcast and all that stuff. So let me get that screen fixed. Hit the like button. Do all those things. I got to shut my video down so you cannot see me.
So it's so much less fun without your beautiful face, Graham.
I know.
Can we donate to get Graham a system that can handle both videos at once? Can we all chip in for that?
Folks, hit the super chat icon so Lee can see my face. So I don't have this little computer. I'm using a Tandy computer. It's from a Radio Shack from 1993. So let me know if maybe that's my problem.
I bet you didn't know Speak and Spell actually made a personal PC that I'm using right now.
It has an Etch-a-Sketch attachment to it. That's why I got it, because I think it's super exciting. All right, citizens of Gotham, here we go. Take it away, Lee, whenever you're ready.
All right. Hello and welcome to Government Secrets, the new podcast starring Graham Elwood and Lee Camp. And I'd say we're covering much more important information than the mainstream media, and we're funnier than the mainstream media. So those are the things we got going for us. How you doing, Graham?
Well, we're intentionally funnier than the mainstream media because they do some stuff that is hilarious. True. Now they're not intending it. It's like
the unintentional funny level of the mainstream media is like through the roof. I mean, if that were something that people rated shows on, then they would be, God, top notch. Just
it is the America's funniest home videos of journalism is what the corporate media like.
It truly is. It truly is. Well, some of my favorite are like when Brian Stelter on CNN pretends he is critiquing the media. Oh my God. I will fall on my knees laughing. He's this He's this. For those of you who don't know Brian Stelter, he is this marshmallow nougat host of CNN's On Media show, and he sits there and says things like, "But Fox News didn't reveal that." That this isn't true, and you're like, you're on CNN. Every story is like fabricated. Rachel Maddow just said there was a Russian under my bed. All right, and you're telling me that Fox News has done us wrong?
It's my funniest, the CNN ad that talks about why this is an apple. Why are we calling it an orange? Right? Like they're trying to, and I'm just like, you guys lie on a daily. Like you have been telling me that's a cucumber because you're going to tell me that you're going to cover it in oil and tell me it's a taffy apple. Like because ExxonMobil buys ad time with you. What are you talking about?
The more accurate commercial would have been, they show an apple. They say, this is a cucumber. Fox News tells you it's an orange. But here at CNN, we know it's a cucumber.
Yes, they're both lying to you in different ways.
Right.
And they want you to fight over it's an orange or a cucumber when that's what I feel like as like a truly progressive. And I even hesitate to use that term now because it's been co-opted by Liz Warren and people like that. Like I feel like I don't know. I'm more leaning towards calling myself I'm an anti-war, pro-labor, democratic socialist. I don't know what else, because if I put socialist in the title, I know the neoliberals won't come near me. They won't say it.
That's true. If you call yourself a Sandinista, I think you're right. I think they'll leave you alone.
Welcome to the Sandinista comedy of Graham Elwood and Lee Camp, ladies and gentlemen. Because I'm like, and I feel like that's where we are, and you and I and Jimmy and Ron Placone and Steph Zamorano, and I mean, all of us have had conversations, on and off camera about especially in the comedy world, but even too with this journalism thing, I feel like we're called crazy people because we're like, no, that's an apple. Okay. And it's like, so you're in favor of you're supporting the cucumber lobby? No, I think.
Oh yeah, and by doing segments practically every day trying to stop war and stop the bombing of innocent civilians, I'm like an evildoer.
Yes,
like I'm some awful, horrible foreign agent who's trying to kill people by standing up for peace on a daily basis.
Yeah, I feel like being a lefty, whatever, Sandinista, whatever you want to call us, in America, I feel like I'm living in an alcoholic home where like both my parents, like one parent is an alcoholic and the other one is a nutbag that's enabling the alcoholic. And when you call that out, and I'm not reading from my own script at all. I didn't grow up in an alcoholic home. No Irish Americans had that in their home. That's not why I'm a comedian.
Graham, we would have believed you, except that you were multiple voices speaking to yourself at once, which kind of gave it away.
Shut up, Graham. They're gonna find us. You pussy. Is that's what I feel like? Like you have, and then when you call it out, you're yelled at. Like you call out the crimes of the Democratic Party, and you're a Trump supporter, and it's like, no, I don't like Trump. And when you call out the Trump crimes, you're a libtard snowflake, and it's like.
Well, I remember when Trump was, remember when he started running and no one thought he would win. And so he was like doing well, but everyone assumed he would, his tax returns would come out or whatever, and it would be over. And so the mainstream media they weren't really going at him. They were kind of just enjoying the ratings boosts. They were just covering him, almost fawning on him, on a daily basis. Because the ratings were so good and, isn't this great and everything. And I, on the other hand, because I don't believe in the two-party system, I wasn't like just going at the Republicans. I was going at both sides. But when I would speak of Donald Trump, I would call him the most horrible fucking things. We did segments where I grafted his head, graphically onto Hitler's body. And I called him Adolf Hitler or something like, And so I had all these things where I was just trashing him. And then when he won, all of a sudden, like shows like mine were the pro-Trump, people were calling us pro-Trump. and defending Trump. And it's like, no, I was the one actually calling him things you wouldn't dare call him when he was running for office.
It was, I know. And it's so insane. And then even the way both parties, it's crazy on both sides. Like, and again, this is not an excuse for me to try to shoehorn Epstein talk into our podcast, but
here's the thing. I will give you a warning, Graham. I actually put Epstein on the list because A, I feel like you might have some sort of seizure if we don't, and B, last week I said, okay, this podcast is not going to be all about Epstein, but literally the day after we taped, the world became all about Epstein again, and so I feel like we're going to have to give a little bit of a refresher on what's happened over the past week. But anyway, go ahead.
But my point is, like, it's like I get emails from these QAnon nut jobs who are like, they send me stuff and I'm like, QAnon is about 60 to 70% on the money. And then they say the craziest, Trump is here to rescue us from the, I'm like, and one of the QAnon videos that somebody sent me, like, you still think QAnon is bullshit? And it says, like, the New World Order wants to eliminate our military budget. What world are you in? Like, where, what wing ding dong Disney conspiracy is this? Like, all they want is more war. Everybody is more war. That's all they care about. And it's like,
yeah, my other favorite one that QAnon did was they love to say that the reason Trump wants to extradite Assange is to save him.
Yeah. Yes.
I love that. It's like I need to stab you to get the demons out. I'm gonna save your life. Just let me stab you in the heart.
Well, we're gonna get what they're gonna do. They're gonna get Assange, and they're gonna see if he floats, if he's a witch or not, and that will determine whether he is.
Yeah. So Trump. Listen, Trump he's got it all figured out. He really does. He's got it all figured out. I mean, that's all you need to know about QAnon. It doesn't matter if they got this thing right here or this thing right there, or they happen to co-align with our beliefs on one area or whatever. All you need to know is they think Trump has it all figured out.
Yeah,
that's it. End of story.
It's so funny because they're like, the Clintons, visited Epstein's compound in New Mexico, and Hillary was on twice, and Bill was on 26 times, and you go, okay, great, yep, they're guilty, and then you go, William Barr gave Epstein his first job. Trump appointed him. Acosta gave Epstein. Here's all of them hanging out. Prince Andrew, right. Ghislaine Maxwell, photos after photos after. Oh, that's just a conspiracy. Everybody takes pictures at parties. Like, okay. They sound just as crazy. And then the Clinton-y diehards, the still with her wingnuts, are like, they'll say, well, Bill's probably guilty. I'm like, so is she. Well. So
isn't that great to see QAnon and the Hillary wingnuts come together on something? They both believe that photos are just photos. They don't mean nothing, right?
Yeah, it's glad we should put them on their own island, and
I will say this: if there were like one mysterious photo of Hillary near Epstein or Trump near Epstein or whatever. Then I could agree. If that were it, I could agree. There are photos that are just photos. Like, I take photos with people after my shows. I don't ask, hey, are you a white supremacist taking a photo just to make me look bad? So, there could be, someone could easily get a photo of me smiling next to a white supremacist if they just came to a comedy show and told me I had a good set. That is all that would need to happen.
Yes.
However, I think Bill Clinton was on his plane 26 times, which that's the point you kind of cross over past a photo's just a photo area.
I think by the second trip, maybe.
Yeah. A plane, a flight on someone's private jet that happens to have 13-year-old girls dressed in bikinis is just a flight on someone's jet that happens to have 13-year-old girls dressed in bikinis. You don't know. He didn't know what he was doing. He's like, sure, I'll get on this jet. Why not?
Yeah, we didn't know. We didn't know when we went to his weird creep island. We had no idea. We had no idea what was going on there when there was like a human sacrifice. You watched, especially like if you were at his island or any of his compounds, his New Mexico compound and his island both have this weird circle stone ritual thing. Like it doesn't have like tennis courts and a beach volleyball, you know, like rich people shit would have. It has like, I
love one day we'll find the head of the construction unit that came in, and he was like, yeah, so I want to take out the volleyball and put in a goat's head surrounded by stones. And, we get rid of the, what's the thing called with the pole with the volleyball? Tetherball.
Yeah.
I was about to say the volleyball tethered to it. That's how poorly my brain's working right now. Let's remove the tetherball spike, and we'll stick like a head of something on the spike instead.
Yeah, can we get rid of the sand volleyball court and just have more of side of a blood ritual? Can we get that a chalice full of blood that we can drink in this ritual thing? Like,
do you have how you look at like different color swatches for like a carpet? Do you have one of those, but it's just different types of animal heads on spikes? Because I can't really, I don't really know what would fit best with that brand of foliage that's there. So if you just have a booklet I could flip through.
Just, you know what? Just FedEx over the animal head swatches so we can just see them and put them up next to the wall and figure out which is the best one for us. All right.
And stand there with friends and go, better like this or better like this? Better like this or better like this?
Which brings out the Luciferian stuff better? What do you think?
All right. As long as we're doing our Epstein riff, I'm going to give you another 5 minutes to get the people who only listen to this podcast. Let's say they're not watching all of your live streams, which they should. What has happened in the past week with Maxwell?
I don't know. Was there something in the news? I don't know. Did something?
Well, no. I just meant since the last time we taped, she was arrested by the FBI.
Yes.
I think the questions that are swirling are didn't the FBI claim that they've been watching her for a while, and and also isn't she in like the same? Wasn't she brought to the same New York jail? Has anyone asked whether she also is going to be suicided in the next 10 minutes? Or?
Well, there's so many questions since the last time we recorded. So literally the next day, they arrested her, right? And since that arrest, we have seen, not that I can find online, there are 0 mugshots, there are 0 paparazzi photos, which you would think a high-profile person getting arrested for a high-profile crime, we would see photos, we would see her in an orange jumpsuit, paparazzi would be all. We have seen no photos, right? One person on Twitter verified, and they live tweeted this, and I put this on my channel. Calling the New York department. First of all, let's backtrack. You're right. She was arrested in New Hampshire, and they transferred her to the same jail.
Right.
The same jail.
Doesn't that raise some alarm bells?
No, I don't think it does at all, Lee. I think, it's going to take at least more than a year.
The same Mossad agent was waiting for her in the same cell. They hadn't even cleaned it up yet. It's still got the sheets tied together, and he's like, welcome. We're going to take much better care of you than the last guy. Yeah,
and there's the unplugged cameras just above. They haven't been able to figure those out.
And the security guard, the jail attendants are still asleep. They haven't woken up yet. They're still taking a cat nap.
It's like they're just taking a 12-month-old cat nap, periodically waking up to, buy stuff online. So that's just like, it really feels like, oh, did they really even catch her? Like we haven't seen anything. There was an article that came out that was like saying, Ghislaine Maxwell has she has a friend of hers, an alleged friend. They couldn't name an actual person, a friend of Ghislaine Maxwell. So it's just more of this vagueness. And she has thumb drives that could implicate the most powerful people, and so she's in the process of negotiating that, or they're trying to get those thumb drives.
So we're very busy smashing those as we speak.
Yeah, so we're putting all those near magnets right now while we get her paper T-shirt noose ready.
Right.
So it's like to me it just raises all of these questions of like, did they even catch her? Is Mossad going to kill her, or is she just like this was all this stage theatrics to get people to go, yay, we got her, when she's, her and Epstein are hanging out on a beach somewhere, whatever, being guarded by Mossad. I mean, I firmly believe, based on Maria Farmer, she did a lengthy interview to Whitney Webb, and she said that.
Is that a victim?
Yeah, Maria Farmer is a victim. She's an Epstein victim, and she said that Epstein was just a project manager, that Les Wexner is like the head of the North American traffic ring snake, is how she put it.
So where is he right now? Is he hiding out somewhere?
No, he's in Ohio, Lee. Just, weird that there's all this stuff coming out of Ohio.
Let's be honest, Ohio is kind of off the grid. There's not a lot going on there.
No, there's not. I mean, they haven't had running water.
Everybody in Ohio, I love you. I'm sure you get the YouTubes and the podcasts too.
Yes, we love doing tour dates there. And if you watch either one of our shows and you live in Ohio, you're well aware of what Ohio, right? So,
you know what you did. You know what goes
you know
on
what's
there.
happening right now. But yeah, I mean, it's so there. So this one guy called on Twitter, and he called and he put it on speakerphone, this automated to see if a prisoner is in the New York prison system. And they're like, yes, we have Ghislaine Maxwell here. What are the charges? No charges have been listed. What's the bond? No bond has been lifted. What's listed? What's her release date? No release date. So my guess is she's going to either get COVID or paper t-shirt herself. And
she already apparently has COVID.
Well, that was a fake story. I thought that
was it really?
I thought that I retweeted that. Oh, they put and it was actually a parody site. Somebody pointed out to me, but
I feel like it even got covered somewhere mainstream. I think.
That's awesome.
Anyway,
but it's exactly what they would do. The parody site. It's like when you see something in the Onion and you go, "Wow, that's funny," but way too plausible actually in this crazy day and age. So
especially non-Onion satire sites seem to not understand that just saying something that actually could just be true is not really a joke.
Yeah,
it's just, I mean, it could be funny in certain ways, but every once in a while they'll be like, America paying the Taliban to keep fighting the Taliban, and I'm like, no, that's just a real story. You didn't change anything.
Yeah, that's Yeah, exactly. Like that's actually happening right now. We know like, they haven't done enough research to know that it's not a parody.
Right. They haven't dug down within the parody story to see whether it is happening. Yeah.
They were like, wouldn't it be funny if this happened? And it's like, I just do a cursory search. It is. It's going down. So yeah, I don't know. The Ghislaine Maxwell, I think she is either this is all orchestrated theatrics. So, we got her and then she's going to die from COVID or slip on a bag of knives in prison or whatever.
The old bag of knives trick.
Just like, or if there is some sort of like tape release deal, here's my only, and I want to pose this to you. Sometimes I get the feeling that there are like dueling factions within like the ruling class deep state. And sometimes I feel like there's a battle, like some of this, like the battle over Trump is sort of like, well, he's costing this group of the ruling class money, but this group really likes him or whatever. And sort of like, maybe there's like we're evil ruling class monsters that profit from bombing people, but we don't sex traffic. So come on. Or they're just like, let's.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think there's absolutely incredibly rich people who, don't give a fuck if Bill Clinton goes down and Prince Andrew goes down. But I think that a lot of the people that are tangentially connected to it have a lot of power right now. So, that's the question is like, do they worry that the people she would reveal could actually do such dire harm to the American empire and the British empire and the Israeli empire to that they don't want those people to go down simply because of the harm it would do to the empire writ large, which seems to be what's going on so far. Like that's why Acosta gave him the deal, was basically because, it wasn't necessarily to protect specifically Bill Clinton. It was because, these things coming out would hurt the empire too much.
And Acosta was told that that Epstein had ties to intelligence, and he literally was like a CIA asset. That's what they were told. That's what, I mean, literally Acosta said that in an interview. I mean, there's a quote of him saying that. So I wonder if that's part of, I mean, it could be the CIA and Mossad are battling, and they're like, I don't know, Mossad came in and killed Epstein, and the CIA is like, hey, wait a minute, we only get to kill our assets, not you. And and they're like, all right, we're gonna capture Jolene then, if you want to play this game. Like,
I'd say one of the things that people confuse when they start looking into these conspiracies and things is they think that the ruling elite all are of one mind.
Yeah.
And, are just that they really have that big meeting inside a dark temple and decide of, every decision and are in full agreement. But in fact, they're not. There are different factions of it. But the problem is the reason so much of it goes in one direction is because there are certain things they all agree on, such as getting profit above all else, and not allowing the American empire, if we're talking about the American ruling class, to lose grasp of global dominance. So many decisions are kind of easy amongst that group because they're all going in that one direction. But when it comes to smaller details, as like, what to do with Epstein or things like that, there's not agreement. There can be many different factions working in different ways.
And again, too, I mean, just I mean, we'll just make this conclusion or assumption, if you will, that they are just greedy people that want more power. So like, oh, that other powerful faction, we need to get a little, like, there's like, we got to fight with them to get a little more power. And like, when you have like, the Rothschilds, they might be like, well, we like to profit this way from sex trafficking, and Mossad is profiting a different way from sex trafficking. And wait a minute.
Well, I think one of the biggest things is we like for our sex trafficking to be quiet, and you have put it front and center.
Yeah.
So we're going to cut you loose and keep ours on the down low. And that's why Trump is such a problem for our America Inc., is that he is part of the ruling class in that he is rich. And, even if he's in debt, he can get loans of hundreds of millions of dollars. Right. So he is rich. He is powerful in that way. He does have big connections, in New York, even before presidency, in New York real estate and things like that. So in that way, he was part of the ruling class, but he was not part of the kind of really dominant head of empires, and so they fucking kind of hate him. Right. He is like this ugly stepchild who is not intelligent in a traditional sense, and doesn't know really or seem to care how to cover up the gross deeds of the American empire, and so he's just spraying it all out there, and they. The true kind of ruling elite, it can't stand that. It's risking everything that they've built.
Yeah, it feels like rival mafia families or gangs or something like that. Like, we were all making good money, and then you idiots had to go and now the cops and the media is covering us, and so you got to go. Or some mob guy
Trump feels like Fredo or something, like like singular character who was like, I know how to do it better, and I'm going to take over more things, and then just shits the whole business. And they're like, you're ruining everything, you asshole.
I'm smart. I can do things. I'm not dumb like people say. I'm your kid brother, Mikey, and I was passed over. It's what Pop wanted. It's not what I wanted. Like, that's what it feels like. And now they're like, okay, let's take him out fishing on Lake Tahoe.
Yeah. So they've been inviting Trump out fishing for fucking 4 years now, and he will not go. He keeps saying the sun is too hot, or he doesn't like fishing because you have to think to yourself, and he's not good at that. And so they can't get him out on the boat.
Oh God. Yeah. Somebody put in the chat, Trump is new money. Like,
Yeah.
That might be it too. Like, oh, he made his money new. He hasn't had like 1,000 years of,
Well, it's new money, and it's also that he never really, like, Trump has never succeeded at anything. He's failed upwards his whole life. I mean, his business ventures have basically all gone under. The only real thing he succeeded at was The Apprentice, because people were like, I can't turn the channel at this train wreck.
Right.
But so even his quote unquote new money was like, he was in endless lawsuits, thousands of lawsuits. I mean, it wasn't even like stable money. He had to get massive loans from Deutsche Bank and everything. So it wasn't even like this guy's just sitting on a money empire. You know, he was a fucking train wreck, and they couldn't stop him from becoming president. They did everything they could.
Right. Yeah. All right. That's interesting. So here's my story that I want to talk about on the good government secrets, because it sort of ties into everything we're talking about, which is MK Ultra, our favorite. and for those of you listening who don't know, I'm just going to give you a little, and I just went online, just found a very simple thing. It was a top secret CIA project in which the agency conducted hundreds of clandestine experiments, sometimes on unwitting U.S. citizens, to assess the potential use of LSD and other drugs for mind control, information gathering, and psychological torture. Though the project lasted from 1953 to about 73, isn't it fun when they say a program got shut down when we know it didn't? Isn't that fun?
You know, like Operation Mockingbird, where they infiltrate the media. They ended that. That's over now.
It's all done. And
all the. You can't picture the guy turning out the lights in the room, like click. It's all done. Finished up infiltrating the media here at the CIA. We're gonna move on now.
Yeah, the mob's out of Vegas. They got the mob out of Vegas. The mob is not in Vegas at all. So basically what MK Ultra was to our listeners is Alan Dulles, director of the CIA, approved MK Ultra in 1953, and the project was aimed to develop techniques that could be used against Soviet bloc enemies to control human behavior with drugs and other psychological manipulators. Yeah, it was totally just used against our enemies. We didn't ever imply it against our own people. The CIA is not allowed to operate on American soil.
By the way, one of our, maybe the most celebrated MK Ultra participant, the Unabomber. Right? He was going to Harvard, and they used him in a study, and they fucking broke him, man, and that spawned, that created the PTSD and the seed that made him despise academics. Unabomber had a lot of other interesting points about technology and things, but the reason he sent bombs to academics, which not a lot of people can get behind that, is because he was used in this experiment. I believe it was Harvard. Used in this experiment, and therefore felt like these academic professors had abused him.
Yeah, and the question remains, like, was he like this lost cause that went off the reservation, or did they go, hey, time to activate Unabomber? That's the question you got to ask, because MK Ultra obviously it's got to still be in use in some way or capacity today. Like, there's no way all this crazy shit happening around the planet, you can't I just have a hard time going, oh, it's just the loose cannon, or just like they're activating all these, like Jason Bourne style, like their phone rings and they just say Gypsy, Firefly, 1940, and then the guy gets activated and just goes nuts.
And then he silently hangs up the phone, and his eyes have changed.
Yeah.
And then he turns and walks away.
Yes. And then he just puts on red underwear and pulls out this duffel bag that was hidden in a safe. That's what I feel like it is to me, because again, back to what it said, the program involved more than 150 human experiments involving psychedelic drugs, paralytics, and electroshock therapy. Sometimes the test subjects knew they were participating in the study, but other times they had no idea. They conducted them at universities, if you said hospitals and prisons in the United States and Canada. Most of them took place between 53 and 64, but it's not clear how many people were involved in the tests. The agency kept notoriously poor records. Oh, that's what it was. Clerical error. That's what it just like they just couldn't write the stuff down correctly at the CAA. Oh, those guys, they got a bad filing system. They just, that's what we're supposed to believe.
Dude, I did a segment. It's hard to remember it, but it was on the biggest like mistakes of the FBI and the CIA. And one of them was that they lost Oswald's rifle, they claim. They just can't find it. Like it's shit like that where you're like, what in the fuck?
Yeah,
you can't come up with something better, some better excuse.
But like they're still doing it. I mean, if you look at, I mean, again, like the Epstein thing, the Ghislaine Maxwell, like, we just lost. He hung himself and the cameras were bad and then 2 guards fell asleep. Okay, thanks. Like we're all just supposed to buy that. And that's why #Epstein didn't kill himself. No. The funny thing is now with the internet, nobody's buying this crap. Like
I know.
We're all supposed to, they lost his rifle. Like,
and you know what it really does is it completely undermines any remaining belief people had in the mainstream media when they see a report about, Epstein dying and they're like, apparently he committed suicide. It's just what a story. And everyone at home is like throwing things at their TV like it's the final minute of the Super Bowl, and they're like, no, what are you fucking Jesus?
Yeah,
the cat gets hurled across the room.
I know. They just blatantly say this stuff, and they're going to do it. And we're going to get some crazy thing with Maxwell, whatever it is. She died, or.
Well, I was thinking it might be some kind of deal where she turns on a few people that they believe are the ones they can, easily, the scapegoats they can easily prosecute. And she keeps quiet on pivotal people like Prince Andrew or whoever else. And then she only gets, fucking 3 years for administrative malfeasance or something.
I just love those concocted terms like aggressive emailing or something like. So, but that's like, and
she all she did was type an incorrect. She pushed the wrong button on an email. The problem was the email was inside of a girl who did not want to be there.
Oh, got it. I mean, even in the charges.
Yeah, it's an accident.
And Whitney Webb pointed this out when I brought her on last week. When the charges first happened, it said she's involved in trafficking, but they didn't actually charge her with sexual assault of a minor, which is what several of Epstein's victims have said she did. She participated in the raping and trafficking. They're just like, she enabled, like they keep talking around it. So it's like, again, they're like you say, they're setting up all of these lesser charges because they're going to they're sitting there right now going, well, Dershowitz is going to go down, but not Trump, Clinton, or Prince Andrew. Like, they're just like,
right.
Like it's going to be a bunch of mid-level guys like that are going to, they're done. But nobody else. But going back to MK Ultra, because I think this all ties in. So they included experience with MDMA, ecstasy, mescaline, heroin, barbiturates, methamphetamines, and psilocybin or magic mushrooms. And they had Operation Midnight Climax, which I'm not making this.
Which was also the name of Epstein's Island.
And Chris D'Elia's last album. So
did you know that guy? I didn't know him.
I did not know him. I did not know D'Elia at all. I saw him do stand-up I was at the Improv, the Hollywood Improv, 6-7 years ago, right when he was sort of kind of blowing up, and I was on the same show with him, and I watched his set and I went, huh. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that you and I are both bitter at Hollywood. And that actually that sums up my response to about 80% of every comedian I ever saw get like a fucking sitcom or some massive, deal or something. And then you go watch them do stand up and you're like, interesting. I wonder how that happened.
Big wacky voices. Okay. But as we uncover all this stuff, you got to wonder. Anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But Operation Midnight Climax, the CIA hired prostitutes to lure unsuspecting men to CIA safe houses where drug experiments took place. The CIA dosed the men with LSD and then, while at times drinking cocktails behind a two-way mirror, watched the drug's effects and the men's behavior. Recording devices were installed in the prostitute's room disguised as electrical outlets. Most of the Operation Midnight experiments took place in San Francisco, Marin County, and New York City. The program had little oversight, and the CIA agents involved admitted that a freewheeling party-like atmosphere, and this is one of the quotes.
Dude, can you imagine being in the CIA in the 50s and 60s? Oh, God, you can do whatever the fuck you want. No one even asked.
I know.
I mean, granted, they're running wild now, too, but back then.
Like somebody came in and pitched to go, we need to do the drug sex thing. Oh, all right.
Okay, yeah,
sure.
You know what? You should probably test out the sex thing for at least 2-3 months. See if it's working right.
See if it's working. But this is what this guy said. An agent named George White wrote to Gottlieb in 1971. Of course, I was a very minor missionary, actually a heretic, but I toiled wholeheartedly in the vineyards because it was fun. Where else could a red-blooded American boy lie, kill, and cheat, steal, deceive, rape, and pillage with the sanction and blessing of the All-Highest? That's not terrifying at all. That's what our government did.
I will say this. I appreciate the work ethic of the CIA back in those years, because in order to spy on someone having sex, they had to rent out the hotel room, put little bugs inside the lamps and things, put in a one-sided mirror or two-sided mirror, whatever it's called, and then sit on the other side and literally be there and watch. Whereas now it's 3 keystrokes and they watch you have sex.
Right.
That is it.
On your phone.
They type in one password and they know your entire sex history.
Yeah. Yeah. Really hats off to the work ethic of the CIA back in the day. They really did.
Yeah.
They really did.
They put in the time. They put in the effort.
So,
by the way, speaking of this, did you ever watch Wormwood on Netflix?
No.
Oh my God, it's right up your alley. Wormwood is an amazing. They do both. It's a documentary that has scripted moments in it, so you go back and forth between the fictionalized version and the documentary aspect. And it's about a scientist that was killed. He was basically taken out by I believe, CIA. He was an American scientist, but he was a scientist working for the CIA, but he was working on germ warfare. And he ultimately, and they fucking did MK Ultra on him. They brought a bunch of them up to a cabin, slipped LSD in their drinks, and wanted to see what would happen to them. And he started the LSD created an awakening in him. He started to lose it. He couldn't get behind the germ warfare shit anymore. And so he said, "Listen, I just want out. I'm never going to talk about this stuff. I just want out of the CIA." And they kept trying to talk him back in. And then he falls from a 13-story window in a hotel in New York.
So this is Frank Olson, I believe.
Frank Olson.
Yes, because this is in this article, who's a scientist that worked for the CIA. And at a 53 CIA retreat, he drank a cocktail that had spiked with LSD. A few days later, he threw himself out of New York hotel window and alleged suicide. Yeah, that's... And anyway, and ultimately the government actually apologized, which they would never say that they killed him, but they kind of left it as maybe we gave him LSD and he jumped out the window because of the LSD we gave him. Yeah. But they literally apologized, which I feel like is as close to a guilty verdict as you're going to get for the government assassinating a fucking scientist. Yeah, and according to this, the family also got $750,000 settlement. They received an apology from Gerald Ford and then CIA Director William Colby. Oh wow! And Ken Kesey, author of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, volunteered for MK Ultra. So this is there was a church committee. President Ford while Chevy Chase was busy making him seem like a bumbling guy, he was doing all this fun stuff with the oh man, the church committee went into the church committee actually investigated in the wake of the Watergate scandal. President Ford set up a United States Commission and CIA activities within the United States, investigate the illegal CIA activities, and the commission was led by Vice President Nelson Rockefeller, which is just like,
right.
Oh, I love, that's what you do, Lee, is like they had, remember when they asked John Gotti to do his own RICO Act investigation? Remember when they did that? That was fitting, right? That made sense.
Yep. And Trump was going to get back to us on a review of his taxes, I think, any day now, wasn't that? He's going to let us know what he found.
Absolutely. We want to corrupt people. So
one more note on LSD. There are some theories that JFK was doing LSD, which is what caused him to begin to have his awakening, where he started talking about peace and peace with the Soviet Union. And just a few months before his assassination, gave a much heralded speech, although it was more heralded outside of America. In America, it was largely, intentionally ignored, but a speech at, I believe, American University, where he basically just laid out how great the Soviet Union is and how we need to be their allies and friends, and how they helped us win World War II, and all these things. And within a few months, he was he jumped out of a 13th-floor window. He jumped into a bullet that seemed to be coming in his direction.
The bullet that made right turns. That bullet. It's called a whoop-de-woo, whoop-de-doo bullet that swings around, does a right turn. But it's there's a great book called Mary's Mosaic. I had the author of it on, and Mary Meyer was the mistress of Kennedy, well-known mistress. I mean, it wasn't even much of a secret. And she was assassinated it was about a year after Kennedy was killed. She was shot in the back of the head, like basically executed broad daylight here in Washington, D.C. on the canal path, or the canal towpath. And it was because she was raising a large stink, and she was a higher up in American society. Her father had been a governor and things like that, and she was raising a stink about how it was not Oswald that had killed Kennedy. And she just, and they've always claimed that just some random guy had shown up on the towpath, grabbed her, and tried to rape her for 12 seconds, and then just immediately killed her. Which happens all the time. All the time. So totally, especially when you bring up the Lee Harvey Oswald and the grassy knoll, and Jack Ruby was just a concerned citizen. He was mad. That's why Jack Ruby did that. He didn't broker a deal.
You know what? He was just really upset.
Yeah, he was. It was a lot of mob-tied club owners were just like, how dare you? Absolutely. It makes perfect sense. All right. What other government secrets do you have, Lee Camp?
All right. Shall we move into, I'll give you a choice. Either how, well, we should do both of these, but how the Russian bounty story continues to collapse, which is what I said a week ago. And here we are. It's just hilarious. Within days of, everyone running around with their hair on fire, Rachel Maddow devoted, I think, 13 hours of her 1-hour show to covering the Russian bounty story, and about how Russia was paying bounties to the Taliban to kill American soldiers, except that the Taliban is always trying to kill American soldiers. That's what they do. And also the fact that we pay the Taliban, and there's been multiple articles on Redacted tonight. I covered some of these articles, but the Nation did one in 2009 about how we fund the Taliban. There was recently a lawsuit, 400 people, I believe the families of soldiers, maybe dead soldiers, sued U.S. military contractors who were paying the Taliban as well, because they said they sued them for paying the Taliban because you're helping, you basically helped kill our soldier sons and daughters and things. And anyway, the New York Times in like page A19 on a Friday, which if you want to know what the New York Times does not want you to see, it's on A19 on a Friday. All right. They really wanted you to take a good long look at that story. And they put it off as like, oh, the Trump administration, blah, blah, blah. But within the article, if you actually look at it and actually think about it like an adult human, they're saying that there's like no evidence of anything. These are anonymous sources. The intel was like, even by some of our intel agencies, I believe the NSA, said they had low confidence in the. I mean, if this was said by an Afghan Taliban member at all, it was said like while their balls were hooked up to an electric car battery, to a car battery. And they were like, yeah, the Russians are paying us please just stop pushing that button. I mean, that is the only evidence they have of anything. And anyway, it's all just collapsing. And I think that's why most media outlets have basically stopped talking about it. But I did see a moment on MSNBC today where they were like, look, this story is not going away, and Russia paid the Taliban. And I'm like, no, it is mostly going away because it was complete horseshit.
Well, I saw Aaron Matei tweet this, like, he saw some other mainstream person say, oh, Russia paid the Taliban. So it's almost like they did their job. They got it just enough out there that the majority of the people who are not paying that much attention, or just the neoliberals who hate Trump no matter what and will listen to anything that says Trump is bad. Just like whatever, if all Fox News has to say is, Bernie's a socialist, or AO's, hey, socialist, they're going to be the next Stalin or whatever, then they do the same thing. So enough people believe,
Yes, I should actually correct myself. When I said this story is going away, I meant that a lot of outlets have stopped covering it because they're quietly realizing how flimsy it is. But in terms of whether it did its job, you're absolutely right. It did what they wanted, what they had hoped it would do. And that's a few things. One, it's always good to reheat up the Cold War when you're afraid the Cold War is getting a little too cold. You just turn on the burner and you get it going, get it nice and warm again. And there was a reason that needed to happen. That needed to happen because Trump, who is not Mr. Peacenik, all right? So this is a guy who's allowed the military to drop more bombs than even Obama. But he is in certain areas of the world going against the military-industrial complex, and he wanted to bring 10,000 of our 35,000 troops home from Germany, which is considered kind of, close to Russia, or one of our front lines against Russia. And so they needed to heat up the Cold War with Russia so that those troops would not be brought home from Germany. Also, there's been this quasi push for a peace plan in Afghanistan with the Taliban, and bringing troops home from there, and this ended all of that as well. So this succeeded with what the deep state, the military-industrial complex wanted, which is no troops are coming home from fucking anywhere. And you get the kind of Trump's being too easy on Russia thing. When in fact, if you actually look at what he's done to Russia, like the diplomats that have been expelled and the sanctions and shit, he's been worse to Russia, far worse than Obama has, far worse than like Bush was. So the idea that, Trump is Mr. Nice Guy to Russia doesn't even hold up. But you're right. It achieved what it wanted. And there was actually, this was hilarious. The Reuters put out an article about how a new Reuters poll shows that 80% of Americans believe Russia paid the Taliban to kill American soldiers. So basically, this is an article of Reuters and the other mainstream media saying, here's a poll showing that our fake story worked.
Yeah.
Look at how well it worked.
Our fake story really hit the charts today, ladies and gentlemen. Had good movement on the fake story today. There's the fake story meter. It really
and still at number one for the fourth week in a row. It is Russia paid the Taliban.
We should do that. Just the propaganda, the Billboard propaganda top 20, ladies and gentlemen. How are we going to pay for it? Drop down a few slots after the CARES Act, but Russia paid the Taliban, screaming up to number one.
And Russia paid the Taliban and dropped down to number 5, but it surges back up to number 1 with, some new false info that has just dropped.
Oh, thanks to the American people for only just reading sound bites and memes to get their news. Keep this one skyrocketing into the slots.
I mean, really, I think that why 80% of America believes that is because you give them reports where they're like, I want to believe that. So, okay.
Well, that's it. I want to believe that. I want to believe it. Makes me feel good. Trump and Russia are their buddies. And there we go. And it's just like, so.
Well, and anyone who wants to, I mean, the idea that, oh, this makes what's going on in Afghanistan bad because Russia is paying the Taliban to kill Americans. It's like, no, everything that's gone on in Afghanistan for 20 years has been bad, okay? The Washington Post actually did a massive story that got very little coverage a year ago, the Afghanistan Papers, that showed that multiple administrations, Bush, Obama, Trump, have all been lying out their asses about what's going on in Afghanistan. There's been no progress. There's no hope of quote unquote winning. The troops over there know, most of them know, there's no hope of quote unquote winning because there is no goal to win. It's just like go village to village and maybe kill a few people. There's like, I mean, Mike Preisner, who served in Iraq and out on their mission, and then they just hide in the bushes for 3 days and then come back and say they did their mission because they realize it's A, hopeless, and B, pointless. It's both hopeless and pointless.
Wow.
And so they're looking after their own asses because they realize how hopeless this thing is and how ridiculous it is. And if anybody wants the full history of our intentional catastrophe in Afghanistan, watch the Empire Files. They just put out a new episode on the Afghanistan war. But
yeah, it's just a standard, like, great distraction. We're all arguing over, did Russia do this or this? We're not going, why are we still in Afghanistan? No one is saying that. No one is asking that question, that's what we should be saying. I don't even give it. Look, if Russia did pay them, who gives a shit? We're out of there. The whole goal, okay, Taliban's bad. Great. We got the Taliban out of power. We should be talking about, wow, look how well we've rebuilt Afghanistan, like we did Europe and Japan. Oh, wow. After World War II, that's what it should. Because
we don't want it rebuilt. Right. Rebuilt means power.
Yeah.
Rebuilt means that someone could come into power there that is not our puppet, and all of a sudden you have a powerful country that is not our puppet. So we're much better off with just a collapsed country where we can exploit the minerals, exploit the opium, and maybe one day put in pipelines and not worry that country will ever side with Iran and actually stand up to American empire.
Yeah. God forbid we all those trillions of dollars we spent in Afghanistan. God forbid we spend it on roads and hospitals and schools and because we can't do that. We don't even spend that on our own country. So why would we spend it on them when, we're busy tear gassing and beating up our own citizens and killing them? We need to do that around the world. Yay.
Well, there could be, you could talk maybe the American government into building hospitals in Afghanistan because they've run out of targets. So maybe they could build some hospitals.
Yes.
To blow up.
Yes.
Drones are getting bored. Okay. The drones they're really getting bored out there.
They can't hit because we've blown up everything. What are they supposed to do? That's not fair. And the drone guys need jobs. Like this is insane. Like we end the war. Like Wolf Blitzer said several years ago, if we cut down all the military, where are all these war jobs going to go? Oh, God forbid they do things that actually better society. We couldn't have that. It's just like
we stop all the serial murdering. Where are the serial murderers going to go?
Yeah, we're going to put those guys out of work. Like, how's Ted Bundy going to pay his bills?
That's what I've always said about all these trials against rapists. If they succeed, what are the rapists going to do with their time? Exactly. Right? They need a hobby. I mean, fuck you, assholes!
They're
can't stand up for ending war because of the jobs it creates.
The logic is insane. It is insane, and they say it with a straight face, and then we're called the crazy problems. Like, it's madness. We
gotta wrap. Yeah, we gotta wrap up, I guess. But I'll have to save for next week. I want to talk about oil pipelines and oil companies. They're all collapsing. It's beautiful to see.
I got a quick quiz. Do you got a couple minutes for just a quick,
Yeah, man.
All right.
Let's do it.
So this here on Government Secrets is a what do you think was worse? Which TV show was worse in terms of the messaging it got out to people? The West Wing or Hogan's Heroes?
Or Cheers.
That's or Cheers. So we're supporting alcoholism, or we think the Nazis are just bumbling, winks, boink, or a decade, 8 years of fueling neoliberal bullshit on West Wing.
I watched West Wing, and I like some of it because of the writing, just because Aaron Sorkin's I enjoy his writing. But I did find it hilarious how like the president just really wants to help everybody. That's his main goal in life. He's just really trying to help everybody, and he just has these really it's impossible decisions to make. 5 are going to die on that side, and 7 are going to die on that side. And how do you decide? And especially in foreign policy, everything that ever happens in foreign policy on that show is done to America. America is hit with a terrorist bomb. America is, we were attacked, or something's happening in Israel. It is never once in the entirety of that show did America just do something.
I know. We're always just the innocent guy. I think people keep messing with us. It's just,
we're just trying to get a leg up here, man.
We sound like that show. And again, I agree. I watched when it first came out, I watched it every week. And a year ago, I kind of binged it on Netflix, and I was like, wow. And again, there was some great writing from Aaron Sorkin.
And there's some, and I actually like his humor. His humor writing is really funny because you're not watching it for comedy. So when there's like a comedic moment, it's usually really good.
And then, there was cool, interesting, like the sort of behind the scenes horse trading on how politics gets done. That was interesting. But man, after that series after 9/11, there's all these like pro CIA episodes where they're like, hey, we need this.
And actually it makes complete sense. But I heard Aaron Sorkin's interview on Mark Maron, so it was like an hour of him chatting with Aaron Sorkin, and he's exactly what you think he'd be. He is a hyper intelligent, like Hillary Clinton supporter,
of course,
and who thinks that anyone who did not support Hillary Clinton is out of their goddamn mind, and they just love Donald Trump, and it's just pathetic. And you're like, wow, it's interesting to hear someone so intelligently, like, basically have no idea what's going on in the world.
None, no clue.
He's believed everything Wolf Blitzer has ever said he has believed.
Well, yeah, he lives in a mansion in Hollywood. He hangs out with his Hollywood neoliberal friends. He's never been set foot in any of the states in the middle of the country the way we have as comedians. He's never talked to a working class really talked to them. He hasn't seen how NAFTA decimated communities, and that's why like West Virginia, which voted for Bernie in 2016 and then voted for Trump in the general, because they're like, we didn't forget NAFTA. And then, just brilliantly intelligent, isolated neoliberal Hollywood person that just fuels all of you Hollywood liberals are out of touch. Because again, in that series, they would always act like America always acted like, like stand-up comics, like who are always in some awful relationship and they act like it's not their fault. Like I dated another stripper with a coke problem and she went nuts. I don't know what happened. Like, oh, okay.
Hey, strippers are the best. I don't like that comment, Graham.
Hey,
that joke would have been better if it had been like I dated another politician and for some odd reason she was a fucking horror show.
Yes, I dated another corporate media journalist and she just sold me down the river for a story. I can't believe this. Like,
right.
She left me for a Boeing rep. Like,
yeah.
So, all right. So you're saying West Wing? Boy, it's tough for me. I might go Hogan's Heroes, but just because I remember watching that as a kid and I just thought, it was hilarious. And I loved Hogan was always getting the better of bumbling Schultz. And then I got older and went, holy shit. When I learned about what happened in the Holocaust, I was like, Hogan matching wits with those bubbling genocidal maniacs. Another wacky episode of Hogan's Heroes.
Dude, I got to run, but we need to have like a 30-minute conversation on the next episode just about all of the Hollywood propaganda that is quietly put into every movie and every TV show.
Let's do that.
It's truly incredible.
All right. Well, sign us off, buddy.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us. This is the second episode of Government Secrets. We hope you'll join us a lot every week. It's free. Check it out. And please tell friends about it. Also, my TV show is called Redacted Tonight. That's at youtube.com/redacted tonight. And my website's leecamp.com. And Graham, what are all your sites?
If you go to grahamelwood.com, you can follow my show Political Vigilante, which just crossed 70,000 subscribers on YouTube. We're also, so that's youtube.com/grahamelwood. And then I'm also on Rockfin, which is a blockchain cryptocurrency platform. Check that out. I have my Patreon. I have a PayPal button, a P.O. box, a million ways to support what I do. So just go to grahamelwood.com. And this show was recorded Friday, July 10th. So if anything drastically changes tomorrow, this is like...
oh, my God. This episode is going to come out with Graham quietly speaking to the mic. Hey, everybody. We filmed this episode just before Lee Camp was arrested in a sting operation. But the animals there were arrested. They are traumatized, but they're going to be okay.
At the time of this recording, we did not know Lee Camp had been paying the Taliban to...
All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye, Lee.
Bye. Hey, thanks, man. Sorry I got to run.
No worries, dude. Thanks for being on the show, man.
All right, later.
All right. That was Lee Camp, everybody, on another episode of Government Secrets. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. So the plan is we're going to try to do that every Friday. Yeah, and then we're going to take the audio from that and we're going to hold on. So yeah, but we're going to try to, we're going to try to do that every Friday, and then we're going to release that as an audio. It's called Government Secrets. It's on Spotify and SoundCloud and all that. I think it's on iTunes, but iTunes feels like they might be just getting rid of their podcast arm. I'm not sure. So we're going to just take the audio and we're going to release that every week as a podcast that Lee and I are doing. Government Secrets. And then what I'm going to do for this show is I'll take the video from that and cut it up. So like the conversation about MK Ultra will be a separate video. The, West Wing will be a separate one. The other conversation, the MK Ultra, all that stuff will be separate chunks that I will drop as clips. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. So hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. 400 and some people watching, 257 likes. Please hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. We just crossed 70,000 subscribers on this show. How sweet is that? Thank you so much. And YouTube kept us at 69,000 some hundred for like over a month. The needle was not moving, but we still persevered. So they keep doing it. We'll go up and then it'll just stop and they'll hold it. And my money drops a little bit, which is just like, it's brutal. So any way that you can support the show, I appreciate it. But we just crossed 70,000 subscribers. How awesome is that? It's July 2020. I started this show January 2nd, 2017. So in 3.5 years, we've gone from 164 subscribers to 70,000. And that's with them throttling us and everything else. And that is all because of you. All of you watching the show, paying attention. When I started, go watch my early episodes. It's literally me sitting at my kitchen table, which used to be right here where I'm standing. And then I've grown it, and we got better quality stuff. Now we're doing stuff with Lee Camp. We're live streaming every day. That's all because of you, because you folks keep supporting what I'm doing. You support it by subscribing. You support it by hitting the like button. You support it by sharing my videos. You support it by watching the ads all the way through. That's critical. When you click skip ad, I don't get paid. Open up a separate browser window. When you do super chat money, you support the show. By Patreon, subscribing at Rockfin, all those ways that you help. Some of you send me money at the P.O. box, which I greatly appreciate. You're old school. You don't want to do anything online. I get it. You're staying off the grid. That's cool. There's PayPal. There's all these ways you folks have supported my show, and that's why we're at 70,000 subscribers 3.5 years later. That's why I'm doing this 5 days a week, and this is my show. That's why I'm having Lee Camp on. Now we're starting. That's because of all of you. So I just cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate it. So hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's read some super chats, kids. Big Texan, shave your knuckles for justice. Thank you so much. Matt S. Boom. Here's some dough to help with your Commodore 64. Yeah, we're going to get me a new computer. We're going to, and some of you like, Graham, I don't like doing a super chat, and you just like sending me a one-time check or once a year, once a month or whatever you wanted, however you can do it, I'm down. I'm going to price out what a computer, so like that thing we're talking, so I can have a separate computer to do all the streaming, so my laptop isn't so, I talked to Arno about this last month, but I'm going to do some research about that. Yeah, fuck the Epoch Times. I know you got to watch these shitty ads for like Epic Times, but just know this, you're not helping them. They have to pay me. When you let that ad play, they have to pay me. So we're getting some Robinhood money style. You know what I'm saying? Just put it on a separate browser window and mute the sound. Emberg33, shave your knuckles for justice. Mark, what's up, brother? Please make a note to yourself to fix the screen as you start Zoom Skype. Thanks for the pep talk from yesterday. More good people than not. Absolutely, Mark. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you. Emberg33, Ron live at the Green Convention at 8, so I might run. Oh, cool. Go check out Ron at the Green Convention, folks. Wan Chat, Theranu, shave 'em. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Really appreciate it. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. 295 likes. We got to get the likes up to 400. There's over 400 people watching. We need to have at least 400 likes. Come on. Harry C. Smith. What's up, Harry? Shave your knuckles for justice. You guys do realize you're going to have to do a whole show on UFO, UAPs pretty soon. Let me know when you want to, and I'll point you to the best researchers. Oh, awesome. Yes. That would be great. Yeah, for sure. Because that's what we want to just do with government secrets, is talk about all like current stuff, like Lee was talking about the Russia Taliban thing. I was talking about MK Ultra from the past. So anything involving government secrets we can do. Thank you, Harry C. Smith. Aiden Daniels, boom, shave your knuckles for justice. You're making Gotham great again. Boom, 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 boom. Congratulations on 70,000. Would you consider bringing on Brett Weinstein to talk about Unity 2020? Yeah, I don't really know Brett. So somehow, I think and I say this before, so this is the best way usually to do it. Like, go on Twitter and tweet both of us and say, hey, Brett, you should be on Graham's show, and then we can follow each other, and then I can direct message him, and that's how we can set it up. Like, I think it was Emberg33 set up the Whitney Webb, like a lot of interviews that have been set up that way. So that's usually the best way to go about it. 310 likes. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Zen Girl. What's up, Zen Girl? You're making Gotham great again, Zen Girl. Second attempt at throwing my money at you. Camp and Elwood together is a terrifying duo. Needs to happen more often. Well, thank you, Zenur. I really appreciate you supporting the show. And I'm telling you, every Friday, we're going to, the goal is to do, because it works for both of our schedules, every Friday, 4 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern, Lee Camp will come on the show. We'll do that government secrets for the first hour of the broadcast, the live stream. And then I'll do the second hour just doing super chats, and I'll do another segment. And then again, we'll listen to the audio on it. So check that out. Stephen Denning, what's up, Stephen? Shave your knuckles for justice. Lee's right. Watch Wormwood, directed by Errol Morris. Oh, cool. I'll definitely check that out. I will. Balthazar228, what's up, Balthazar? I haven't seen you forever, brother. I hope you're doing all right, man. Are you ready for Hillary Rodham Clinton VP announcement? Enter her Kylo Renning Biden on convention floor saying, it's my turn. It's my turn now, into a loss in November. It's coming. I told you she's going to somehow either become his VP or he's going to fall out because of his dimension. She's going to step in. It's coming. There's no way she's going to let this slide. She just can't. She cannot help herself. Trust me. It's coming. It's coming. Zachary Tiet Yan. What's up, Zachary? Breaking RT Trump commuted Roger Stone's sentence. Jesus. Wow. Of course. Of course. Ruling class takes care of it. Takes care of its own. Kate. Kate. Shaving Knuckles for Justice. Just tuned in. If you haven't, please break down how the Taliban money to kill U.S. troops thing is false. Love your work, guys. Yes, we already did, Kate. So for those of you, if you're like Kate and just tuned in, what we're going to do is, so Government Secrets is an audio podcast. So so episode 2 will drop in the next couple days. And then, I will release that and then I will, on this show, Political Vigilante, I will release each one of those subjects that Lee and I talked about as a separate clip. So we'll talk about the Russia paying the Taliban is bullshit and how that story is collapsing. That was a separate. I'll release those as separate segments over the next couple of days. But thanks for supporting the show. And yeah, we talked about it. It was great. So Matt S. Shave your knuckles for justice. Have a shot of hemp juice for your 70,000 subs, man. Thank you so much. Going to celebrate tonight. It's going to be crazy. Maybe I'll order some Thai food. I don't know. It's nuts when you live alone in the middle of a pandemic. But thanks, Matt. Yeah, 70,000. I woke up this morning and saw that. I was like, boom. I put it on my social media. I put it on Patreon. Thank you so much. Also, what I'm doing with these live streams now, because YouTube has been messing with me, as soon as the live stream's over, it becomes a private one, and then I put it up on Patreon. So if you're at the $10 level on Patreon, you get the video for it. And so you can watch the whole thing if you missed part of it, if you're a $10 or Patreon person. And then I have the audio files to put up for the $5 level, and I just haven't, it's just, I can't, my producer, I can't make her an administrator. Patreon has this weird thing. So I have to do it, and I've fallen behind, but I will get that up there. Thank you so much. Sam Dean, what's up, Sam? How's everything down under, my friend? News: 2 gay men have been bashed by a mob in Ajaccio, France for kissing in a bar. Police say they shouldn't have been kissing in public. Discuss. Oh, God. You know, racism and homophobia is so awful. Like, why does that bother you? 2 people showing affection. Why? Why does that bother you? I was at the beach earlier today. I was working this morning. I ducked out to just do a little surf and come back. There's several gay couples on the beach. Great. I'm like, awesome. I was like envious. Like, oh man, I wish I had a significant other. I'm obviously straight, but like, I don't know why there's so much hatred in the world. I really don't. It's really, I don't get it. I don't know why a gay couple is such a threat to people. I don't get it. I don't get why Black Lives Matter makes some white people so, all lives matter. I don't get it. I don't get it. It's horrific, man. And the police say they should have been kissing in public. Oh, okay. And I've heard people say that, well, I mean, it's okay if gays as long as I don't have to see them having sex in public. Okay, so then do we get to say that about what? A straight couple that we don't find attractive? I don't want to watch 2 guys kiss. Okay, cool. I don't want to watch 2 mutants kiss. Do we outlaw that? If that's just, I don't like looking at those types of people kissing. Well, then do we all get to apply that logic? You know, it's just preposterous. Interracial couples were outlawed in this country in many states. up until almost recently. Gay marriage just passed in 2014. It just makes me, I don't get it. I don't get why it bothers you. It doesn't affect you at all. A gay couple being married legally and expressing affection like any two people that are in love, what does it matter? I don't get it. I don't get it. What the fuck does it matter? Like, why is it such a threat? Black people not wanting to be murdered by the police, they just want their lives to matter as much as everybody else's. All lives matter. Why? It's not a threat to you. At Black Lives Matter, silence equals violence in my window in my apartment complex. And this old dude in my building walks by and I heard him say, oh, look at this fucking idiot. He didn't say it to me, but he knew I heard him. Or no, he didn't know I heard him. And I was like, what? Why does it bother you? It doesn't take anything away. I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, it sucks that happened. Thanks for bringing that to our attention, Sam. I'm sorry that happened. That's awful. And I don't get it. I don't get hatred. I don't get it. I don't get people being threatened. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Andy McQuaid, Andy, shave your knuckle for justice. Your shows are a squiggy for the third eye. Draft Jesse. A squiggy for the third eye. I kind of get that. But thank you, Andy. Andres Torres, what's up, my friend? Let's start a village in Baja. Shave them, baby. I'm down. So, excuse me. Barbados just announced that they're going to do, they're going to encourage people to live there who work at home. So a lot of countries are starting to do what's called a digital nomad visa. And I'm open to that. I mean, I'm looking to maybe live somewhere else, just to try somewhere else to live, because I'm worried about this place. But like, I don't know. There's some countries out there, and I've heard about these digital nomad places like Medellin, Colombia, Mexico City. There's some places in Korea and Asia, and all I need to do this show is good internet. That's all I need. I need fast internet. I can't have crappy internet. I can't have the stream cutting out. I can't do the show then. I need at least probably 200 megabytes per second. I currently have 500 megabytes, so they claim. It's usually in the 300s, like it's never what they say it is. But if I get to around 200 megabytes per second minimum, I can live stream, I can upload and download videos very, very quickly. And some places have super fast, like broadband, like 500 megabytes. It's nuts. So I'm open to that. If you guys are aware of some place, or you live in some country, they're like, oh, we're giving incentives to people because what's happening, and I think this is probably what happened in Barbados, is my guess, is they're realizing, so Barbados is a tourist place, right? They've lost all their income because of the COVID, right? So they're like, people are waking up. So if you bring, like me, or anybody, a travel blogger, anybody who designs website, whatever, anybody who works at home, can work online, has an online business, which this is an online business. Think about it. So if I came to, let's say, Barbados, I would be spending my money in Barbados. I make my money from all of you all over the world and some other selling product, whatever. And then so they're realizing, well, if we bring these people who have online jobs, they're going to be spending their money here, versus the old model of, oh, if I move to Barbados, then I have to take a job from a local, from a citizen. You're not taking anybody's job if you have a digital employment. So literally anywhere I go, I'm not taking a local citizen's job at all. I'm actually infusing money into their economy, because wherever I go, I got to pay rent, I got to buy food, I got to buy stuff. So I'm spending all that right now. I'm spending all that money here in Los Angeles. I move to anywhere. Hawaii, Australia, Barbados, so anywhere that has that, I'm down. I mean, if there's a cool place, if I can surf, I got to be able to surf, have decent food. There's cool people. There's no wars, no guns, no crazy shit. I'll go there. I got to have good internet, and I got to be able to surf. Boom. Big Baby Zuba, shave your knuckles for justice. Gonna see Ron in a bit. Wish Granny Petrol was there. Yes. Tell Ron I said hey. Tell Ron I said hey. 331 likes at the like button. Cops are your wage slavery overlords. Yep. If you want to leave the States right now, where can I go? I don't know. It's through that one or both is. Please come to Australia. Lots of surf, no guns, good internet. I have been looking. I would love to come to Australia. I've been there. I love it. The minute they open that country up, I'm coming. It sounds like they're not going to open it up to tourists until next year. So, but I would love to come to Australia. I got friends in Sydney and Melbourne, even up in Byron Bay. I would love it. I could do this show there. I could do other stuff. I could do creative stuff. When they open it, I can fly around Australia and do live stand-up shows. I absolutely love it there. So, yeah. And I've heard they've really increased everyone used to say, oh, the internet in Australia sucks. I've heard they've gotten it a lot better. So I would absolutely, Maggie, I would come there. The minute they open it up, man, I'm in. Big Baby Zubas, shave your knuckles for justice. Just like with racism, LGBTQ hatred is taught. Yeah, I know. It's taught, oh, it's evil, it's against God's will or whatever. And will it engage Mary? What's next? Marry your dog? Like, it's just two people that love each other. Like, the thing that's so insane is they've done studies of like primates. There's gay primates. So if animals are just operating on instinct, it shows you that gays, they're not hurting anybody. They're not hurting anybody. It's just, oh God, it's so ridiculous. Hank Moultrie, shave your knuckles for justice, Hank. Try to interview Ben Swan about COVID. He debunks a lot. Oh, interesting. Okay, thanks, Hank. Hank, I appreciate you supporting the show. Thank you so much. Chelsea Sites, what's up, Chelsea? How you doing, sweetie? I haven't seen you in forever. Hello, we just missed Lee Camp because we were watching RT with Lee Camp. Missed the live politics and comedy. Stay happy, healthy, and hopeful. Yeah, I know, Chelsea. You guys came to so many live shows we did in Southern California. And it's probably going to be another year before I'm like performing on stage. It just breaks my heart. It's so, I miss those shows on so many levels. So, yeah, I miss them. I miss doing the live shows. They're so fun. There's nothing like being, yeah. Oh, Australian internet was due to be super upgraded, but the conservative government killed it. Slowly being fixed, but could have been better. Yeah, I heard the Labor government put it in certain areas, and then the conservative government killed it. So it's like depending on the neighborhood. That's what my one Australian friend said. She's like, depending on the neighborhood or town you live in, that determines where the good internet is. Which is like crazy. When you have time, please check out the article I emailed you on Patreon about a young cop's son, Trump supporter, running over a protester in Visalia, California. Jesus Christ. All right, I will. I can work on computers remotely. I'm a computer geek. Oh, sweet. Thank you. Funny part is no one ever reminds those people only God can judge, and it's not your place to judge anybody. Absolutely. Chelsea Sites, we understand it. I know, Chelsea. It's so I know we had so much. The live shows are so fun. They're so great, and you've been to so many of them. The Jimmy Dore shows, the Progressive, they're so great. We'll be back. I mean, Ron and I's plan is next summer to do a big long tour, and we're gonna just gonna change our tour scheduling to be just like hit an area for like a month or so, be it the U.S., be it Australia, be it Europe. We're gonna just do that. So we'll be next summer. We'll be touring somewhere, wherever they get COVID figured out. They're gonna have a therapy by then. That's the thing I'm looking. A vaccine, maybe, I don't know, but a therapy that you take and it won't kill you, and it doesn't cost $3,000. Leopard, shave your knuckles for justice. Looking to New Zealand, best quality of life worldwide. Oh, I've heard about that. I get a little leery because Susie Dawson tells me about they've got some surveillance state shit there. But yeah. Sam Dean, shave your knuckles for justice. Breaking, Maxwell up for $5 million bail. Crazy. For real? What a scam. So this is what they're going to let us to believe. Oh, she made bail and now we can't find her. Oh, God. What a scam. She said, here's a copy of all the video footage I have. I have another copy in a safe place. So I'm going to get out on bail. And they went, okay. That's probably what happened. Good Lord. Good Lord. Creative experiments, shave your knuckles for justice. Move after all cities look like Detroit in October with trees growing out of empty house and your digital nomad money makes you god of the town. Right. I know. Well, I bet you these countries and cities are going to really wise up to this. Like we talked about this with Ron Placone. So Ron has been a big thing on municipal broadband. And the example he always cites, and it's a great example, is Chattanooga, Tennessee. Chattanooga, Tennessee put like 200 or 300 megabytes per second internet, really fast internet for $50 a month, something like that. And what happened, Chattanooga started attracting all these digital companies, all these online businesses that need fast internet. So, and especially since people are going to have to wake up to this because all these big companies, I think about all the people, and I'm sure many of you are in this situation, but like just here in Los Angeles or in any city, there's all these tech companies that have these big office buildings and their whole staff has been home working remotely. And they're sitting there going, well, we don't need, why are we fill in the blank big company spending all this money on this giant office complex when everybody's getting it done at home? So everything's going to go more digital. Everyone's going to be working remotely. So it's going to be like, there's still going to always be certain in-person jobs that are required, of course. But if you can work remotely, these cities that are hurting financially, let's say they had some factory or some big industry that was there that left or got wiped out because of COVID or whatever, they're going to go put in fast internet, which isn't that expensive. And we've got nice, affordable housing because that's the thing. You live in San Francisco, Los Angeles, New York, these expensive cities. California is expensive as shit. If I could live somewhere cheaper, it's nice, I can surf, and there's really good internet, what? I think a lot of places are going to wake up to this, man. They really are. I mean, think about like Tahiti or some Fiji, which is all based on tourism. It's probably a similar economic situation to like a Barbados, right? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just guessing. But yeah, because if you move there, you're going to have money to spend. You're spending other, and again, like I said, if I move to one, I'm not taking anybody's job. If I move to Australia, I'm not taking an Australian's job. If anything, I'm going to give some Australians work. I'm going to have to hire a couple of assistants. So if that's the incentive, they said, look, you come here and hire, for each, they could come up with some smart plan. Like for each local citizen that you hire, we'll give you this tax break or we'll give you a cheaper housing. Like I bet you some of these resort places, since travel's been wiped out, take one of these nice hotels that's going out of business and say, okay, digital nomads, you can live here for $600 a month or something, whatever, some super cheap price. And we'll put super fast internet through the whole building and just have all these digital nomads live in. That's the digital nomad tower. And it'd be like, we love it. We would love it. And we would spend all our money all throughout that city and you would see the economy pump up. There's countries that have already been doing this. It's literally called a digital nomad visa. You just have to prove that you have an online business. So, Harry C. Smith, shave your knuckles for justice. You hear there are 10 tower blocks, 3,000 plus residents in Melbourne now in total lockdown, not allowed to even go out of their flats for any reason for 5+ days. Wow, I didn't hear it got that bad. Is that true? Sam Dean? Oh my God. Annabelle? Holy shit. Wow, that's nuts. That's crazy. Is California running out of fresh water? Could be. Plus worker co-ops, someone's talking about. Yeah, absolutely. Some blocks have reopened, apparently. This is from Maggie Craggy in Melbourne. We need more public tech schools. Yep. Melbourne is back to full lockdown stuff for everybody. I'm living the digital nomad life as well. Check out Panama. Great beaches, surf, and good internet. Ooh. I've been to Panama. Loved it. That's good to know. Good to know. Yeah. The question is this point, who will let us in? I don't think most countries are accepting people from Brazil. Doubt Americans will. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, it'll be, I think some of these countries will just do the 14-day quarantine thing, especially like if you're an American, they're just going to say, you got to do 14-day quarantine. That's what I'm hoping Australia opens up, and I'm sure they'll put the 14-day quarantine on you, which is fine. I'll do that, you know. So Sam Dean, shave your knuckles for justice. Do you think Massachusetts will implement ranked choice voting? Are we there yet? I think they will, because very close to them, I believe Maine has ranked choice voting already, because I've covered this before. It's one of those New England states. I think it's Maine. I think I talked about it. Maine or New Hampshire, one of those states already has ranked choice voting. And I remember doing a video like a year ago or 2 years ago during the midterms, and it was like awesome, and it showed how great ranked choice voting is. So I hope more states just implement it, because it's great. It's such a big step towards election reform in this country. I hope everybody does it, because it's fantastic. Maine, yeah, Maine has ranked choice voting, yeah. I have a spare room, Graham, and you're welcome to Digital Nomad from there. Thank you so much. Why do you think so many big left-leaning shows exclude Whitney Webb, and only you have been inviting her on all things Epstein? They are committing journalism malpractice not having her on. I don't know. I mean, look, she's been on Jimmy's show. I don't know. I love her work. I don't know what to tell you. Some people just have steered away from the Epstein thing because it's too gnarly or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Whitney's awesome. She'll always be welcome on this show. She does great work. And I cannot say enough. If you want to know about Epstein, go to my Epstein channel. You'll see a bunch of interviews with her, and then go into her series of stories on Mint Press News and her series of stories now on Last American Vagabond. She goes really deep into this. She brings knowledge to me. Like, she's great. I mean, Whitney is, I got nothing but mad props for Whitney. You should pay attention to St. Louis, Missouri this year as they attempt to implement approval voting, a vastly superior voting method to ranked choice voting. Interesting. I mean, I'm down with anything that's better than this current bullshit system. If every state just put in ranked choice, I would be like, that would be leaps and bounds better than the correct bullshit we've got. If this system you're talking about, I don't know much about it, is better than ranked choice, great. I'm open to whatever. It just we have to put in new shit. We have to fix this. So I'm down with whatever, man. Chelsea, shave your knuckles for justice. Chelsea, have you heard the plasma might be a way to help those that have COVID or help people so they don't get it? Yeah, I've heard about that. People who have been have the antibody giving up their plasma. Yeah, I've heard about that. It's pretty cool. I took the antibody test last week and I haven't gotten the results yet back. I got to check that shit. Yeah, I want to know if I had it or not, because I'd give some plasma if that helped people. Absolutely. I've donated blood and plasma in the past. Shaving knuckles for justice. Leopard. Set up a company in a different state or even abroad. Put your live streaming through that and then bathe in that zero tax status like the 1%. Oh. All right. Good to know. That's what I got to do. Set up the zero tax thing. New Jersey has a national popular vote. You vote for the approved establishment candidate. Easy peasy. Yeah. Approval voting is incredibly simple. You simply remove the limitation on one vote per ballot. So instead, you vote for all the candidates you approve of. Well, that's similar to ranked choice. So ranked choice, again, you don't vote for one. You say, like, let's just do this example of the 2016 election, right? So, like, I would have put Jill Stein number 1, Gary Johnson 2, Hillary 3, Trump 4, right? And that's how ranked choice for it. So it sounds like approval is similar. From what I've seen in my investigation, this is legal, and everyone else who is trying to spread the news to showing its legal problem is the news. I don't understand it. Cage match for Annabelle's spare room. Yeah. All right. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh. Hold on, I'm going to just put this segment together real quick. It's from the Supreme Court decision from yesterday, but I wanted to do a full video on it. To cover it, hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Also, support the show. Go to grabelwood.com. Products available. Anything, any purchase you make, everything helps to support the show. Boom. Boom, boom, pow. Hit the like button, like button. All right, this is cool. I just want to go into the details of that Supreme Court decision giving Native Americans large portions of Oklahoma, which is pretty rad. So we celebrated that yesterday. Kat B brought us that, and we sang "We Are the Champions" last night, which was awesome, which is why I love doing the show in this community. And so I just wanted to do a full video on it, going into the details of the ruling and what it actually means, and then release that. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Hit the like button. I ordered a new microphone. It wasn't in the mail today. I don't know what to tell you. It should be here. This still works good, but I got this arm, so it'll come off and I can just kind of move it around here and I get my hands back free again, because we know that's important. We know that's important, citizens of Gotham. Hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, boom, pow, boom, 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 pow, boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Boom. So, of course, at grabelwood.com, folks, you can get Earbuds, the podcasting documentary. You can get Live from Afghanistan, me performing in Afghanistan. Ron and I have a comedy show tomorrow, Saturday the 11th at 7 p.m. Pacific. You can buy tickets for $5. Just go to @Graham-Elwood on Venmo. Just tell me you want tickets for the show tomorrow. We'll send you a Zoom link a couple minutes before 7 o'clock, and we're going to donate all the money to this. I think it's called Shower of Hope, which is a organization that helps give homeless people showers. It's like basically mobile showers. It goes out and gives homeless people dignity. So that's what your $5 will go towards. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy, whoopsie daisy. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Wait a minute, citizens of Gotham. It's a little bit funny. All right. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Please hit the like button. Oh, I really love doing this show, and I really love having all of you here. 371 likes. Chelsea, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. They need more plasma donated. Get the word out because they would have enough if more knew. Okay. So folks, get the antibody test if that means you had COVID. If you knew you had COVID and you're healthy and you have the antibody in your plasma, you can donate your plasma and it helps people who have it, who are really struggling. It's a good way to give back. So I will check into that. Why should I have to track down my goddamn test? Shouldn't they call me immediately? So annoying. JHHS Scott 6. Making Gotham great again. Great interview with Luke. Congrats on breaking into the 70K. I'm sure it was more earlier. We just crossed. Yeah, we just crossed 70,000 this morning or last night or something. So it's awesome. Spectrum 86, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice, lockdown coronavirus scam. If they wanted to rid COVID from our communities, they would have us stay home and have people in spacesuits bring you food and goods, no rent, no mortgage. Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing too. They should, I've said this before in the show. I mean, if they're going to tell us to stay home, they should be paying our rent, giving us money, giving us healthcare, all that stuff. That's part of the reason people don't want to do the lockdown anymore, because we're not getting helped enough financially. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Hello, everybody. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching Boom, the political vigilante making Gotham great again, serving up shave knuckle justice one video at a time. Well, we've covered a lot of stories on this show in the 3.5 years I've been doing it, numerous about the Native American community and the injustice. I've talked about murdered and missing Indigenous women and how there's all these old loopholes where if a non-native commits a crime on a reservation, they're not prosecuted, and all this stuff is happening. Where a landmark decision just came down from the Supreme Court yesterday. This is a big win. Landmark Supreme Court ruling affirms Native Americans' rights in Oklahoma. A 5-4 decision declaring that much of eastern Oklahoma is an Indian reservation could reshape criminal justice in the area by preventing state authorities from prosecuting Native Americans. This also contributes to, in terms of police brutality, it's not just in the Black community or the Latino community. It's very heavy in the Native community. It's very heavy. And a comedian that I worked with on the FNX First Nations Comedy Experience, Adrienne Chalapa, told a very emotional story on her Instagram feed about what happened to her brother. And he was a Native guy with, suffered from mental illness, and the cops just, took him out, which is like, it's brutal. So this is a big decision. This is a big win. The 5-4 decision, potentially one of the most consequential legal victories for Native Americans in decades, could have far-reaching implications for the people who live across what the court affirmed was Indian country. So this is what happened. Ruled that much of eastern Oklahoma falls within Indian reservation. This is the Cherokee Nation, Muskogee Creek. That's part of the Seminole, Chickasaw, and Choctaw Nation, right? This came from the Oklahoma Department of Transportation. This article that I'm referencing was in the New York Times. So this is what this does, right? The decision puts in doubt hundreds of state convictions of Native Americans and could change the handling of prosecutions across a vast swath of the state. So what that means is saying any crimes that, now this is Native land now, so any crimes committed there cannot be prosecuted by non-Native. So each reservation has its own tribal police and tribal court, right? So that's what this does. Lawyers were also examining whether it had broader implications for taxing, zoning, and other government functions. Because again, I want to go back to this map. The way this is supposed to be, this is sovereign land. This is their nation, their land, right? So they should be able to govern it however they want, correct? But that hasn't been the case. These are basically, several hundred years ago, these are almost like internment camps. Let's be honest. And as we've talked about with COVID, the Navajo Nation and many other Native American have had COVID, especially the Navajo Nation, has been so bad because they don't have as many hospitals. They don't have as much healthy food. They're not given as much money. I talked about the disbursement of CARES Act money, and 600 tribes across the United States got a total of like 3 or 5 billion. It was some insanely small number. It was like, you got to be kidding me. So it's like these are big steps, and part of and many of the complaints, and rightfully so, have been the United States government has never acknowledged all of the shit that it's done to Native Americans, stealing land, all that stuff. And there's all these little bullshit rules that were enacted in the 1800s because they didn't want a Native uprising or whatever. And it's like, they're so outdated. So, what that could mean is broader implications for taxing, zoning, and other government functions. What the long-term effects of this, much of it we don't know yet. It sounds like it could be really positive. So here are the judges. McGirt versus Oklahoma, the court ruled 5-4 that much of Eastern is a reservation. This is the liberal bloc: Sotomayor, Ginsburg, Kagan, and Davenport. But Gorsh dissented. And some people say, well, he didn't do it because he was in favor of Native Americans. He just was like holding the letter of the law. Whatever. Whatever. That's what the Supreme Court is supposed to be, is like really get down to the letter of the law. That's what it's supposed to be. Obviously, it's very politicized because a Republican president tries to stack it. That's what they did. Obama. This all needs to be revamped. Separate video. This is a historical day. Principal Chief David Hill said in an interview, "This is amazing. It's never too late to make things right." But at the same moment, the nationwide movement to confront systemic racism has infused new energy and attention to generations-long fights by tribal nations and indigenous activists over land, treaty rights, and discrimination, which is good. This is why, look, all this stuff that happened with the George Floyd, everyone was on lockdown. Everyone had saw George Floyd get murdered, and everyone took to the streets and was fed up. And so what's happened, and this is a very good thing in this last month and a half or so since George Floyd was murdered, is everyone's no. All these long-standing things that we've been oh boy, someone should do something. No. Defund the police, refund social programs, more justice for Native Americans. We can't, because everyone's it ain't right. It ain't right. It's not right. And if you're going to talk about all the injustices that have been done to black people in this country, and rightfully so, we have to include Native Americans. We absolutely have to. So people are yep, all right. And it's no it's no, let's fix it all. Let's cut the military budget in half. Let's cut all this shit. A bunch of victories this week for the Native American community and all of America, in my opinion. DAPL getting shut down. The Atlantic Pipeline gets shut down. DAPL, all this stuff that happened in Standing Rock, it has to be drained by and shut down. And it's a good week. We got to celebrate the victories on the show. I talk about a lot of dark stuff and a lot of ruling class screwing us all over and Epstein and all this awful shit. So this is significant. The court's decision means that indigenous people who commit crimes on the eastern Oklahoma reservation, which includes much of Tulsa, cannot be prosecuted by state or local law enforcement and must instead face justice in tribal or federal courts. Let's just go back to the map. That's significant. It's significant in terms of the systemic racism towards Native Americans. So, in the same way, what happened to George Floyd? Oh, he passed a counterfeit bill, so that means he gets to get murdered? No. A Native American gets a crime. The Tulsa police, the state police, whatever, can just beat the shit out of him, kill him, whatever, throw the book at him. No. Tribal police should be able to handle it. If these are actually sovereign nations, right? An American commits a crime overseas, a lot of times they're sent back, you come back here and face, right? That's technically how it should be. So let the tribal police handle it. I bet you this might help with the murdered and missing indigenous women. I don't know. I'm not a legal expert on any of that for sure, but that's that's one of the loopholes I've talked about, right? So, a non-native commits a crime, a murder, or is implicated in the disappearance of a native woman. There's no recording of it. The tribal police aren't given enough money. There's 4 officers to handle some massive piece of land. So there's a lot of elements. There's a lot of stuff to this. But this is a huge step in the right direction to let the reservations and the tribal courts take care of their own, give them the jurisdiction to judge and police their own, right? Because again, you're Native American and a white cop just looks at you as some drunk, troublemaking native. So this is a huge thing. Again, energy and attention to generation-long fights by tribal nations and indigenous activists over land, treaty rights, and discrimination. Right? Just to reiterate this, that the court's decision means that indigenous people who commit crimes on the eastern Oklahoma reservation, which includes much of Tulsa, cannot be prosecuted by state or local law enforcement and must instead face justice in tribal or federal courts. Not 1 inch of land changed hands today, said Jonadev Chowdhury, ambassador for the Creek Nation. All that happened was clarity was brought to potential prosecutions within Creek Nation, which is significant. Reading it, the understanding of what has happened to our people was nice to see acknowledged at this level of government, said Sarah Deer, a lawyer and professor at the University of Kansas, who is also a citizen of the Muskogee Creek Nation. Big victory. Big victory. It's good to see, right? And white people, you didn't lose anything. White people in Oklahoma, they didn't take away any of your rights. Nothing was, we're just giving up this country. No. Nothing was, just all that means is that tribal members who commit crimes will be tried in tribal court. You didn't lose anything, white people. It's all good. There's nothing to get mad or protest. There's no gun and Confederate flag you need to wave around. Yes, that's how it should be. And I bet you from a tax standpoint, the Tulsa and Oklahoma State Police now don't have to spend money on handling this. I'm just throwing that out there again. I'm not an expert on this situation, but I'm just, any white people are like, no. It's a good thing. No white person lost any rights today. Nobody, nothing. Like the guy said, not one piece of land changed hands. The land that has already been designated as an Indian reservation, now they actually have more jurisdiction over their own people. That's all it should be. It's insane. It's like, it'd be like if I'm a member, like I can't, I don't know what example I'm trying to use here, but like, so I live in Santa Monica, which has its own police department. But what if, like, anytime if a citizen of Santa Monica got arrested, the Santa Monica police had no couldn't do anything about it, like, and LAPD would come here and arrest, like anything like that. Maybe I'm not explaining that well. You know what I mean? This is a victory. Shave your knuckles for justice. We're all making Gotham great again. Thanks for supporting this show. It's great getting some good news, right? DAPL, boom. Atlantic Pipeline, boom. Supreme Court, boom. Thanks for watching the show, because this is a victory for all of us. If you're on the side of the right, if you're on the side of truth, if you're on the side of justice, it doesn't matter what your ethnicity is. You don't even have to live in Oklahoma. This is a victory for human rights. This is a victory for righting wrongs that this country has done. We need to, as a country, need to admit we committed genocide against Native Americans. We stole land. We used slaves. It was awful. Let's just make it right. A couple things like this, stuff like this just makes it right, and nobody loses anything. Nobody loses anything. How are we going to pay for reparations? The same way we pay for all the wars. This is a win for all of us, especially Native Americans. Shave your knuckles for justice. Right on, citizens of Gotham. Always like the good news. Hit the like button. George Allen, Shave Your Knuckles for Justice. George, thanks for supporting the show. I just learned from a friend that 3 restaurants in Boulder, Colorado closed down after 30 years. They couldn't make it. They're an integral part of the community. I suspect the vultures will be swooping in soon, Graham. I know, it's heartbreaking, man. There's comedy clubs I know that have gone under. It's brutal. I'm not, yeah, it's gnarly. It's gnarly. I know. I worry about that. Sam Dean. Shave him, Sam. Look, it's Granny Petro. Uh-oh. There goes the neighborhood. Oh. Native Americans didn't cause the mass extinction event 10,000 years ago. Yeah. Power to the people, indeed. George Allen, I meant to say restaurants, F spell check. No, I figured it wasn't restraints. I figured that. George Allen, again, thank you, George. Shave your knuckles for justice. What I was trying to say is all over the country, small businesses and restaurants will be labeled failures and bought out dirt cheap. No, you're absolutely right. And it's a thing I talked about on this show when the CARES Act was first passed. I was like, be careful. This is a huge transference of wealth. The ruling class just got $4.25 trillion. They're going to swoop in and buy up all these restaurants. And these mom and pop restaurants like in Boulder, Colorado that have been around for 30 years are going to become a goddamn, Dave and Buster's or whatever, So it's brutal, and it's a thing we got to pay attention to, and it's why I try to support small businesses. I try to get takeout once a week, and I try to go to a local restaurant that's family owned or whatever. This is like taco stand by me, whatever. Try to support local businesses if you can. Try to support local businesses if you can. The big corporations, the big chains, They want to swoop in and own it all, man. They want to swoop in and own it all. Well, folks, that's been a show. It's been over 2 hours. I'm losing my voice. I got to roll. The Who Cares Act, absolutely. Welcome to the Amazon Cafe. May I take your order? You got that right, Pat. Ivy League canceled all varsity sports till Jan 1st. Do you think the rest of the greedy D1 football programs would do the same? I don't know. There's a lot of money they got to give up. The D1 football programs, all that TV revenue. I think they'll be playing in front of empty stadiums just because they need the TV revenue. That's what I think. That's what I think. Sindaloo 2, shave your knuckles for justice. Wonder what's the over-under on Grizz Maxwell COVID-19 survival rate. When she got arrested, I gave her, the over-under is 20 days. I bet the under. 20 days. So she got arrested on what, the 3rd? So the 23rd, she'll be dead or COVIDed by July 23rd. That's my pick. That's my pick. 400 likes. We did it. We did it. All right, let's pick a song here. Let's get a song. How about I'm so happy to say my boyfriend and I seek to shop local. Yeah, it's big. Vote with your dollars matters, folks. Every dollar matters. I'm telling you. How about Lather by Jefferson Airplane? Capitalism is going to hell. Eat the rich, pass the salt. The Beatles. Everybody's got something to hide. I don't know that Beatles song that well, but I will do a Beatles song. How about do Body Count as Granny Petrol? It'll be bold and funny. All right, we need to do another Granny Petrol. You're right, Sam. We'll do I want to do Colors by Ice-T as Granny Petrol.
Yo, is this?
Hold on. Let Granny in the room. Hello, I'm Granny Petrol. I was just reading about Greta. Oh, Greta, I appreciate your knowledge, but respectfully, I disagree, Greta. You are in a gang, Greta, a gang of Big Green in the kale lobby, telling you that drinking oil isn't good. Well, I want to sing a song about gang culture, Greta. Maybe you'll understand and stop being such an angry child. Mad at adults for making the world a good place. It's come to this, Greta. Wait, now, Greta, colors? Colors? What? Now, he's singing too. This is not karaoke. This is... I need to sing without Ice-T joining me. This is a hijack, Greta. I don't know why I put in Ice-T colors. Oh, he's still singing. Let's go to the next page. Thought I had it teamed up correctly. Oh no, now we're at Ron Placone's. I don't understand, Greta. I don't know, Greta. I'm trying. This is what happens, Greta, when you get all angry, telling adults they can't play in cold.
Yo, let's do this.
Somebody never did karaoke for this. Oh, well now. That won't work. I got flustered by iced tea. I don't like iced tea. I like iced oil. Iced tea should be drinking more oil. Big Kale is hijacking the show, of course. You're right. Big Kale tries to undermine everything that I do. On every turn. That's why we can't trust them. Well, I guess we're going to have to do Straight Outta Compton. Let's do Gangster's Paradise. Yes, Greta. This is where you live with Big Green. Well, Greta, spewing. I realize there's nothing left because I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone. But I ain't never crossed a man that didn't deserve it. Me be treated like a punk, you know, that's unheard of. You better watch how you're talking, Greta, and where you're walking, or you and your homies might be lined in chalk. I really hate to trip, 'cause I got a lock. As they croak, I see myself in the pistol smoke, fool.
The kind of G little homies want to be like, on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the streetlight, then spending most of their lives living in the gangster's paradise. Greta, you keep threatening truth, this is what'll happen. Been spooning most of their lives living in a gangster's paradise. That's where me and the Friends of Science live. We live our lives in a gangster's paradise. Greta, read the facts. We keep spending our lives living in a gangster's paradise. Look at the situation they got me facing. I can't live a normal life. I was raised by the streets, Greta, so I gotta be down with the hood team. Too much television watching got me chasing dreams, Greta. I'm an educated fool with money on my mind, Greta. Got my 10 in my hand and a gleam in my eye. I'm locked out gangster, said trip and banger, and my homies is down and don't arouse my anger, fool. Death ain't nothing but a heartbeat away. I'm living life, do or die. What can I say? I'm 23, but will I live to see 24, Greta? Not all angry if you do that, Greta. Tell me why are we so blind to see the facts, Greta, of Big Green lying to you, the kale lobby, the organic fruit mafia, and spending most of their lives living in a gangster's paradise, Greta? And spending most of their lives living in a gangster's paradise. They keep spending most of our lives living in a gangster's paradise, Greta. Not running around eating salad, flying on boats, telling everybody the world is melting. Power, money in the power, minute after minute, hour after hour, everybody's running, but half of them ain't looking, Greta. What's going on in the kitchen, but I don't know what's cooking. They say I gotta learn, but nobody's here to teach me. If they can't understand it, how they going to reach me? I guess they can't. I guess they won't. I guess they front. That's why I know my life is out of luck, fool. Been spending most of their lives, Greta, living in a gangster's paradise. Been spending most of their lives, Greta, living in a gangster's paradise. Been spending most of their lives, Greta, living in the lies of the Arugulati. It's an Illuminati formed by the Arugula Mafia, secret society of salad eaters. And then why are you so blind to see? The ones we heard are you and me. Greta, tell me, why are we so blind to see that the ones we heard are you and me, Greta? Drink more oil, Greta. Let children go back and play in coal mines, Greta. Not angry, telling children they shouldn't play in coal. Are you down with the hood, Greta? I know I am. Fool.
Granny Petrol, ladies and gentlemen, giving us a rounding rendition of Gangster's Paradise. Always great to have her on the show. She's a delight. She's a delight. I don't know why this always takes so long to figure out, but let's move this here. No one wants to listen to any of your nonsense. Boom, shalaka-like, boom, everybody. That's the show. I'm glad you enjoyed that. 410 likes. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. Granny Petrol. Mic drop. Boom. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I'll put the whole live stream on Patreon at the $10 level, and I've been dropping the karaoke's on the premium side of Rockfin. So if you go to rockfin.com/Graham Elwood, great way to support the show. Excuse me. I got to roll. Thank you so much. 2.5 hours, and go listen for Government Secrets wherever you get your podcasting. Thank you for supporting everything I do, folks. Tomorrow night is the Zoom show with Ron Placone and I, 7 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock Eastern. Just go to @Graham-Elwood on Venmo for tickets, and we'll see you tomorrow night. I will live stream again probably on Monday, folks. Probably on Rockfin for Rockfin members. I haven't done a members only stream in a while. Probably going to do that. on Monday. Support the show. All the ways to do it. GrahamElwood.com. Thank you so much. I love doing this. Thank you for supporting what I do. Shave your knuckles for justice. You're making Gotham great again.